Andrea. Thank you for coming in today. How are you doing?
Thanks for having me. I am doing okay. A lot better than last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate you coming back. It shows that you're committed, and I think that we can work together as a team.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm comfortable being here with you. Um, you're just so relaxed, so laid back, so it makes me comfortable enough to open up to you. So I'm glad to be back.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that you find me helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, today I want to dedicate this session a little bit. I do want to talk a bit about identity and about your values and beliefs, but I also kind of want to dive a little bit into goals. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
Is there anything that you'd like to talk about today?
I don't have specific things that I would like to talk about. I didn't come with like goals or
Okay,
things that
that's okay.
have anything listed that I want to talk about.
hmm
So any questions that you have, I will answer.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if anything comes up or if something just makes you uncomfortable, just let me know.
Okay.
Do you need anything to drink? The bathroom's down there.
Mhm.
And yeah,
Yeah, I don't want anything to drink right now. Yeah.
it's okay. All right. So the first thing that I wanted to discuss is about identity, and I know that identity can be very tricky to talk about. But I identify as an Asian American, and you mentioned in the last session that you identified as an African American, and so there are some differences there, and I think those differences may have an impact on how we view things
Mm-hmm.
and how we may, and it may influence
Yeah.
how these sessions go. So I really wanted to talk about that with you today.
The fact that you're a woman makes me comfortable.
Yeah.
To me, the race and anything else does not matter to me because it doesn't. It shouldn't. Um, I am biologically born as a woman. I actually think it's very offensive for people to ask me what my pronouns are. That's just like, what? Why do people ask me that? Like, do they not see that I'm a woman? Do I not sound like a woman? So I'm not saying that I'm offended by you, but I'm just like, I don't like that idea.
Okay.
People saying, "Oh, identify yourself." Like, why do I have to identify myself? I sound like a woman, you know, and I look like a woman. Why do I have to tell you what to call me or what to refer me to as? No, I'm a woman. Just leave it at that. Call me she. That's what you call a woman. You know? Sorry, but it just gets me worked up for people to
Yeah.
ask me what my pronouns are. But the fact that you're a woman, you're here to help me. That's it. That's all. We're here, and I'm okay with that. And I don't look at you any different than anybody in here or any other social worker. You're very kind and respectful, and I love that about you, and I like working with you. And that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would not say, "Oh, she said this because she's different race than I am." I would not look at it like that. I'm only looking at you, getting information from you, from like think of it in the best way I could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so what are some parts of your identity that might be really important for me to know about going forward? Just like things that you find important, like your spirituality. Could you maybe expand on that?
Yeah, I am born as Muslim, raised in a household of, my dad is an imam, teaches at the mosque and leads the prayer at the mosque. So I come from that background. So when I have this history of mine, medical history of mine, it's just really bad. It looks really bad. That's why I don't get help or seek help in that community, in that religious community, because I don't want to be looked at the bad, like that bad one over there. I mean, although they're not supposed to do that, it's just I don't want to expose myself. I would like to keep it unknown. I have goals that I want to achieve. And once I fix what I want to fix about myself, then I can go back in that community. But right now, just for you to know that that's the values that I go off of, that I live my life. I know I've messed up. We're all humans. I mean, we have mistakes that we make, and I would like to live up to that religious perspective and have my goals and priorities straight before I go back to that community.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I totally respect that, the fact that you want to keep that a bit confidential from your community, and that's up to you. But could you maybe tell me more about some of the barriers that you're facing and not being able to get maybe the support that you might need? Or maybe is it helpful? Is it not helpful?
To be involved.
Yeah, to be maybe involved in the Muslim community, but to also maybe have a couple people that you trust. Are there any kind of people that would be able to support you?
If you get people exposed to your personal information, personal life, um, people can be pretty judgy.
Okay.
And I don't want to be judged.
Yeah.
I would just like to keep it between those that already know, the immediate family that already know, and with your help and my psychiatrist's help, hopefully I can, move forward on just fixing myself. I am very determined. I am very, very caring. I care for my son, and he means a lot to me. So I would like to fix myself for him. Yeah.
Well, you seem like a very caring and very resourceful person. And I'm honestly not sure how I would have been handling things if I were in your shoes. So I think you're, doing a good job of staying on track and, having a goal in mind. I think that's really important. So who are the special people in your life that you can depend on? I know that you mentioned that, support is likely to be pretty important for you.
Yeah. At this moment, the only special person is my son.
Yeah.
But extended families are my mom. It's special. I would like to build relationship with her. My dad, my other siblings. I don't really trust them, so that's why I keep them at distance. But there's one sister that's involved here and there, and I still like to slowly build our relationship, but just keep my distance for now. And but those are the people that I consider special for now.
Yeah.
But my son is the special one.
Okay. And could you tell me a bit more about the relationship between you and your parents and how that's been in the past and how it is now?
I think some of my siblings have, degrees, had went to school and, made something of themselves. And I didn't do that, so they didn't think much of me. And so our relationship was not to where I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to build that relationship with them. So I'm going to slowly work on it just so we can, live. And my son can have these grandparents and uncles and aunts in his life, along with his dad.
Yeah. And you mentioned earlier that you don't trust your other siblings.
Yeah.
Could you possibly help me understand a bit about that?
I don't know if you have siblings.
I do.
But with us being so many, we have sibling rivalries where I'll do better than you, or it's just they were all out for themselves, and only the ones that got along helped each other out, and I was always the outcast.
Okay.
I was always the bad one.
Yeah.
And so I just I would like to hopefully build my relationship with them, but it's just I don't because I don't want to be judged by them as well, and so our relationship, even as kids, we were not that close. Yeah.
Okay.
I was always a loner, you know,
I see.
like to play by myself and, you know, just do things by myself.
Yeah.
Even when we walked to school, like I would walk by myself or walk behind them or walk in front of them. I would listen to music and, you know, instead of having conversations with them. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's nothing wrong with doing things by yourself. And I think in this world, the way it is, you know, there's a lot of competition happening, and it can be challenging to work around that. It's hard to be yourself. But could you maybe, what are some of your greatest accomplishments? Could you maybe expand on that?
You know, having my son is my greatest accomplishment.
Yeah.
Because it's a life that I could not have done, you know, without God, you know? And so I feel like he's the greatest accomplishment, and the fact that he is getting his therapies, OT therapy, speech, and just things that he needs for his special needs. For me to keep that up for him, I feel like that's an accomplishment, as well as getting help for myself. And continuing and staying determined to getting myself to where I want to.
Yeah, and I think those are some great accomplishments, and I think you just being here is an accomplishment in itself. So, you know, and you have to focus on you.
Yeah.
And I think you're doing a good job of it so far. So, yeah. I wanted to know how you think the problem got here, or what do you think brought you here in the first place?
Into the situation I'm in right now. I think, like I said, I was always a loner. I was always by myself. I didn't really fit into the situation that other people were into.
Yeah.
And so I think I wanted to have what other people had, but I couldn't, you know, maybe didn't have the skills to, you know, get that in, I don't know, get the skills to get myself involved in doing things that, you know, other people were doing.
Yeah.
So I think I just felt lonely. I think I was depressed. So I think that's that's what caused the overdose of Zoloft, and then going from there with the diagnosis of epilepsy and, you know, the other stuff on the record that you may have seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is it like when you don't feel lonely? You said you felt lonely, and I wanted to know more about what your life is like when you don't feel lonely, when you're not feeling depressed.
When I'm not lonely, I'm happy and very talkative.
Yeah.
Like, especially when I'm with Vincent, with people that I love and trust. I'm very outgoing. I'm just, you know, carefree. I love singing, and I love exercising, and I love just enjoy life. Yeah, I'm very happy. I love with those that I respect and value. I'm very just open.
Yeah. Well, it seems like you're a very open, outgoing person, and it seems like that was a pretty important part in your life, your personality.
Yeah. See, I would like to share that with people that I love, and I think I couldn't have that, and it takes me time to open up to people. And when I do, and it's just nothing but bubbles, you know, and just different sparks coming out of me, you know, just, and I think maybe I don't know how to stop that, and people are like, okay, you're weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think, you know, as long as it makes you happy and you feel like that's what best supports your relationships, especially with someone like Vincent, you know, who is your son's father. I think that's really important to continue that positive relationship with them.